This land once echoed with the roars of freedom. Here, two people dared to love the wild, and not just with their hands, but with their hearts. And in doing so, they changed everything. This is the land of George and Joy Adamson. This is Elsa's land.
This is the land of legend, where one lioness changed the world. Elsa, born and orphaned here, then rescued and raised and eventually reigned over these lands. Elsa redefining what we know about conservation. But the question is, does her spirit, wild and free, still roam these lands? The question is mine. The answer is yours. All I know is that this is Meru National Park, and you're welcome.
Sprawling, sunburnt, and stubbornly beautiful. Together with Kora, Bisanadi, and Mwingi, it forms one of Kenya's largest conservation mosaics. Over 4,000 square kilometers of wilderness, stitched together by rivers, memory, and myth. This land remembers, and so do we. Across this river, Kora begins. Where the concrete ends and the legends begin. This pulley, once the only lifeline between Meru and George Adamson's wild outpost. He built it, not to tame the land, but to meet it halfway. Here, in Kora's deep stillness, George chose exile. And here, in 1989, he was murdered. Not by a lion, but by men. Yet his spirit, like the wind here, never truly left. But before Kora, before tragedy and separation, there was Meru. And there was a lioness named Elsa. George Adamson, born in India, a game warden by fate. Joy Adamson, born in Austria, a painter by passion. Together, they found a mission in the eyes of a lion cub whose mother they had to kill in self-defense. Name was Elsa, and she would become a symbol of what could be. A lion raised by humans and then returned to the wild. Her story became a book, and then a film, and then several films, then a movement. Born Free changed the world and helped birth the modern conservation era. Elsa died here of a tick disease called babesiosis. She died with her head in George Adamson's lap. And after he buried her beneath this tree, he and his scouts fired 20 volleys of gunfire in case her mate might hear and pause.
Stories way back 1930s when George Adamson is among the first conservationists in Kenya, and he was managing the northern part of Kenya, that is Isiolo, Samburu, Meru, Kora National Park. And one day, when he was on a normal routine patrol, because we had a lot of human-wildlife conflict areas of Chaba Samburu, where lions were killing the pastoralist cows. So on his normal routine, he saw a lion, and out of curiosity, he came out of the vehicle and approached the lion without knowing that the lion had little cubs. So the lion reacted to him, and he attacked George Adamson. And on his defense, he shot the lion. After shooting the lion, he found that the lion had 3 cubs. So he had no other option but taking care of the cubs. Now he picked the cubs, put it in his Land Rover, and he drove them all the way to the camp, where they are living with our wife, Joy Adamson. Joy Adamson had already adopted a pet, a rock hierarchy. It is the longest rock hierarchy, 6 inches tall, long, and they name her Patty. So Patty welcomed the 3 cubs, and they named the 3 cubs, the big one, Lustica, and Elsa. So the law by 1952 says that you are not supposed to keep more than 2 pets, and the law further says that you must remain with the little one or the younger one. So George and Joy Adamson had no option but to release the big one and the Lustica, and they were transferred to Rotterdam Zoo in Netherlands. So the story of big one and the Lustica ends there. So they grew with the Elsa. The Elsa was being given minced meat, and at 1 year and some months, the George Adamson started teaching or trying to teach Elsa on how to pray by herself. So he can shoot a water bag, and the lion can run and make the finish. So by then, and the story tells us, before the death of George Adamson, he had released over 25 lions to the wild. But Elsa remained with George until her death. Now they tried to release Elsa to the wild 3 times. They took her to a very cold place, somewhere in Nanyuki, and they came back to Meru. After 2 weeks, they went to visit Elsa, and they found Elsa almost dying because of the cold weather, and they bring her back to Meru. Then they try her in Samburu, and it was not in vain. So they bring Elsa here and join other lions. So Elsa can go for a week and come back and visit Joy and Adamson within the camp. George and Adamson was not fixed in one place, so they were moving with the tents. So they can be at George's pool, where we'll visit later. They will be at Elsa's copy on top of the rock, and that's where the last camp on the bottom of the rock, that's where the last camp of George and George Adamson, here in Meru. There is also a grave of a lion called Tommy. Tommy was one of the pets around the camp and was killed by another big lion called Panty. So Panty jumped over the fence and injured the little one. And finally it died, and it was buried there, where we'll see the remainings of the Land Rover. So one day at this place, that's around 1950s, Elsa was 27 months old. Now he went for about 2 weeks and came back to the camp. After a while, Joy realized that the Elsa had some signs of dizziness, kind of sleeping, without knowing that Elsa had met a lion outside, and Elsa is pregnant. So at this point, George Adamson used to have a rest on top of one of the trees around the campsite here. So little they saw Elsa crossing this river Ura with the 3 young cubs. So when they crossed, when the Elsa saw Joy and George Adamson and the Land Rover with the 3 young cubs, he just made some sound, and George and Joy were very happy. They crossed the river, they take the 3 cubs and brought them to the camp. but now they wanted to cut the relationship between human being and wildlife. So they took the 3 cubs and translocate or transfer them to Serengeti National Park in northern Tanzania, and their story ends there. So they just remain with Elsa until Elsa met her death. She died in tick-related diseases in 1961, and that's why she's buried here.
For some, she was just a lion. For others, a lighthouse, a call to care. Did you know that while there may be kings of the savannah, male lions sleep up to 20 hours a day? Did you know that a lion's roar can reach 114 decibels, enough to make you deaf? And did you know that no 2 lions have the same whisker spot pattern? And Elsa was not alone. This grave belongs to Pippa the cheetah. Another Adamson story, another soul returned to the wild. Joy captured it all in books like The Spotted Sphinx and Pippa's Challenge. Their lives now carved in silence and stone.
This is a grave of one of the pets that was reared by Joy and George Adamson. So they reared a cheetah and a cub. So the cheetah, they named her Pippa. So the Pippa, or the cheetah, and the young one lived for 4 years. That's 1964 to 1969. And both died due to a disease related to ticks or fly. Yeah, both, even the Elsa died on the same disease. Yes. So we are conserving this grave and several other, and another 5 for the lions and the George Adamson himself at Kora National Park. So for us to reduce the fly or the diseases that are affecting animals by then, we have a research department. So on our way we'll find a blue-black piece of cloth all over the park, trying to reduce the number of the fly. So in that blue-black, they say all insects see black and white, but fly are attracted to blue. So underneath, you'll find a bottle with a chemical called acetone. It has a smell like those of a cow, urine cow. So they'll try to find the smell around the blue and black piece of cloth, and they tie there. That's how we are reducing the number.
From this hill, you see the land as Elsa did, as Joy painted it, and as George protected it. Today, Elsa's copy sits where their camp once stood. Luxury and legacy, side by side. Even the Hyrax still watches from these rocks, descendants of those who watched the Adamsons tend their fires, their lions, their love. Here lies George Adamson's Land Rover, rusted, silent, still. But if you listen carefully, you'll hear the echoes of roaring freedom and of quiet courage.
Right here, it's incredible, you know, the long and very distinct history of the Adamson family. And here you can see sort of like a graveyard for one of their vehicles, their main vehicle that they used. I believe it was a Series 1 Land Rover. And you can see here, these are the U-bolts. These are the ones that hold the leaf springs. They're still intact. So here we can see a wheel hub. We can see an almost intact rim, steel rim from that era. We can see a jerry can. This was carrying about 500 to 800. This should be about 20 gallon. And this is the frame where the jerry can would sit in at the back of the Land Rover. I mean, the story is real. You can see some of the artifacts that they used. For example, let me show you this. This is part of the old lamp that they used to use. You know, the hurricane lamp that they used, you know, in all those years of camping here. The old camp was right here. Our warden Francis is telling us. Look, here's another shock absorber, an old shock absorber for a Series 1 Land Rover. You know, why some of these things still survive is that Land Rovers historically have had a lot of their bodywork done in aluminium, which does not rust as well as iron and all the others. So you can see some of the panels here, aluminium, old aluminium, right here. You can see the warden was telling us some of the parts are buried underneath the soil, years and years down. You can see a piece of the leaf spring. These are the leaf springs. And the U-bolts that I just showed you, these U-bolts were used to hold the leaf springs. You can see a rim here. You can see part of this is the exhaust manifold. The exhaust manifold from the engine of the Series 1 Land Rover. You can see it's been welded quite a few times. Yeah, the bush mechanics, the bush survival and mechanical know-how to help you to survive in the bush. This is part of the butane that we used. Oh my goodness! You can even see an old spark plug for the Series 1 Land Rover. This is real. This is the Adamsons camp. Another shock absorber, rusted to bits. You can see part of the clutch right here, part of the clutch. You can see some stabilizer links with the rubber bits of the bushings, old rotten. You can see all of them right here. Here's another for the joint. These are part of the steering paraphernalia of the Series 1 Land Rover. My goodness. Buried under years and years of dirt and soil. Under here are the remains of a Series 1 Land Rover driven by none other than George and Joy Adamson themselves. This was their camp right here. Whew.
As the sun sets on Meru, one thing is clear. These weren't just stories. They were lives, and their legacy lives on in this land and in us. Born free, loved fiercely, remembered forever.